out at Vandenberg. Weather has been fairly crummy out here at Vandenberg and in central to Southern California. Got some family in the southern part of the state myself, and they've been talking about how lousy the weather has been. The Vandenberg launch of a Firefly Alpha rocket, the return to flight mission for that company, was at one point looking at February 18th for no earlier than launch date. And they did announce on their social media that the reason that they punted to no earlier than next week on the 27th, I believe. They pointed to uh, poor weather conditions as a driving factor for that. So, may have also been a contributing factor as to why this mission got pushed off to the right a couple of times. This morning's launch of a Falcon 9 rocket will be the 603rd time that SpaceX flies its workhorse vehicle. So let's go ahead and talk about the Falcon 9 rocket as we're getting ready to see this next one take flight. The Falcon 9 rocket stands at a height of 70 meters or 229 feet, and has a diameter of 3.66 meters or 12 feet. Most of that is made up by the Falcon 9's first stage. Again, this booster flying today is B-1063, making its 31st flight. While it is not the most flown booster by SpaceX, it is the oldest booster that is still currently in rotation, having made its debut back on November 21st of 2020. At the base of any Falcon 9 first stage are 9 Merlin engines, which burn a rocket-grade kerosene and liquid oxygen, and together produce 1.7 million pounds of thrust at liftoff. And the Falcon 9 is flying, as we see it most often, in a reusable configuration. It also has those black carbon fiber landing legs that are used to land on sometimes a landing zone back on land, but today it'll be a drone ship recovery. Above the first stage is the inner stage, a composite structure consisting of an aluminum honeycomb core surrounded by carbon fiber. In the image on the right-hand side of your screen, you can see the deployable hypersonic grid fins. These are titanium winglets that provide stability and steering for the Falcon 9 as it comes back through the atmosphere, tail first like a big old dart heading towards the drone ship. At the top of the inner stage are mechanical latches that attach to the vehicle's second stage. And at first stage main engine cutoff, high-pressure helium is used to release those latches, and 4 pneumatic pushers ensure a clean separation. Also, the second stage engine nozzle is housed safely inside the interstage adapter until the point of stage separation. Speaking of the second stage, the upper stage of the Falcon 9 powered by a single modified Merlin engine called a Merlin vacuum engine or an MVAC engine. It's equipped with a large nozzle optimized for burns in the vacuum of space, hence its given name. It produces more than 220,500 pounds of thrust, and it will be fired twice to place the 25 Starlink satellites today into their intended orbit. Following the release of the Starlink satellites, there will be one final burn, a deorbit burn, designed to drive the upper stage back into the atmosphere, where it will burn up and eliminate the risk of creating unnecessary space debris on this mission. Finally, at the top of the Falcon 9 stack are the payload fairings that currently encapsulate the Starlink satellites. The fairings are made up of a carbon composite material and stand at 13.1 meters or 43 feet in height and are 5.2 meters or 17.1 feet in diameter. The fairing halves will be recovered a little bit further downrange from where the first stage lands on the drone ship. They gently splash down under the support of steerable parachutes. Just about at the top of the hour here, 7 minutes and change remaining on the clock. Taking a look at our live chat, want to thank the more than 1,000 of you who are watching along with us live today. If you haven't already, you could do us a big favor just by clicking the like button and sharing the stream, allowing more folks to find their way into this live launch coverage today. As we're getting ready to see the departure of this Falcon 9 rocket, which is currently undergoing the engine chill sequence for the Falcon 9's first stage. Second stage RP-1 loading should be wrapping up momentarily. Let's talk a bit about where this Falcon 9 is going to be flying once it does leave the pad here at Space Launch Complex 4 East at Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. After liftoff, the Falcon 9 rocket will fly on a southerly, slightly southwesterly trajectory with the first stage booster 1063 targeting booster touchdown is expected a little bit more than 8 minutes after liftoff. If successful, this will be the 179th booster landing on this particular vessel and the 471st drone ship landing for SpaceX. As we mentioned, SpaceX also wants to recover the payload fairings that are currently encapsulating the Starlink satellites. These will splash down in the water a little bit further downrange from where the brought through the port of Long Beach and onto SpaceX facilities where they will be refurbished and turned around for future missions.
Tanks are pressing for the start of Stromback retract. Stromback retract.
A very clear night here at Vandenberg, always a welcome sight. As you just heard, the strong back retraction sequence is now underway. Momentarily, actually right now, you see the clamp arms beneath the payload fairings open up, and the truss structure, the transporter erector, will recline about 13 degrees away from the vehicle. As we see the reclining process continuing. Want to thank a couple folks in the live chat. Thanks to I'm Lita for the $5 super chat. Who says, missed the last few. Glad to be back. I will and team. Glad to have you back, Lita. And I Ancient One with a $10 super chat. Who says, thanks for always being here for the launch of Spaceflight Now. Well, you're quite welcome. Glad you're able to join us. Thanks for the support.
Stage 1 LOX load is complete.
Good call on stage 1 LOX load wrapping up. We should hear a similar call regarding second stage LOX load in the next 30 seconds. Just under 2 minutes now.
Stage 2 LOX load is complete.
And with that call, the Falcon 9 rocket is fully loaded with 1 million pounds of propellant. Should be seeing some additional venting here. You can see it just peeking through the bottom of the screen. Those are the ground gas closeouts.
Ground gas closeouts.
This is venting out of the oxygen from the feed lines at the pad. Coming into the automated startup sequence beginning at T-minus 1 minute.
Falcon 9 is in startup.
And with that, we're awaiting the SpaceX launch director to confirm that they are in fact go for launch.
LD is go for launch.
And with that, we're going to step back on our commentary and join you once again on the other side of liftoff.
T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 15 seconds. T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. And liftoff. Go SpaceX, go Starlink.
Vehicle is pitching downrange.
M1D chamber pressures are nominal.
And a good liftoff of the Falcon 9
Power
rocket
telemetry nominal.
from Vandenberg. Confirmation of a nominal flight
Falcon 9 is supersonic.
so far. Traveling faster than the speed of sound now. 1 minute into this mission. Coming up on max Q, the point of greatest aerodynamic pressure on the vehicle.
Max Q.
Now through max Q, the Merlin engines will throttle back up as teams prepare to thermally condition the Merlin vacuum engine on the rocket's upper stage. Should hear a call for MVAC chill.
MVAC chill.
There's that good call out. SpaceX is coming up on a few events in fairly rapid succession now. We'll see first stage main engine cutoff, or MECO, at around T plus 2 minutes and 24 seconds into flight. That'll be followed by stage separation and then the ignition of the Merlin vacuum engine. The payload fairings will jettison just about at 3 minutes into this mission.
Nominal trajectory.
MECO.
Stage separation confirmed.
MVAC startup.
Good calls, good visuals on those events. You can see the hypersonic grid fins deploying on the Falcon 9 first stage booster as the lights from California fade from view.
Fairing separation confirmed.
Call for fairing separation, and I think you could just barely make out one of those fairing halves fly by the engine nozzle on the Falcon 9's second stage. Again, those fairing halves will splash down in the waters of the Pacific Ocean, further downrange from where the booster is set to land on the drone ship. They will be recovered and refurbished, used again for a future flight. Coming up on 4 minutes into the mission, the next big milestone will be the 3-engine entry burn, helping to slow the first stage booster 1063 down as it starts to make its way towards the drone ship called Of Course I Still Love You. (1063) appearing to reach its apogee at 113 kilometers in altitude, starting to make its descent towards the drone ship now. Five minutes into flight, the entry burn is just about 1 minute away.
Stage 1 FTS is saved.
Stage 1 entry burn startup. Stage 1 entry burn shutdown.
Both vehicles continue to follow a nominal trajectory.
good completion for the entry burn and a nominal trajectory call. Coming up next will be the single engine landing burn, taking the booster down to the drone ship. Of course, they still love you. The landing burn set to begin less than 1 minute from now.
Stage 1 transonic.
Stage 2 FTS is saved.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And a good landing for B-1063, recovering for a 31st time.
INVAC shutdown.
Nominal orbit insertion.
And with a good orbit insertion call, the upper stage of the Falcon 9 will now coast until T plus 53 minutes and 16 seconds. There will be a 1-second burn on that engine to circularize its orbit, and the Starlink satellites will be jettisoned